What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel where you subscribe for daily updates on Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. We are going to look at some pretty important targets today. Make sure you stick around for the whole video from the macro all the way down to the 1 hour on Bitcoin. We have some pretty interesting targets. Also, don't forget we have a free Discord group in the description below the video. Let's get into it. Alright guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. Always do your own due diligence and your own research before investing or trading in any markets. Alright, let's take a look at the Fear and Greed Index, but before we do that, stick around to the end of the video. We are going to be looking or picking our winner of the Ledger Nano S. Also, if you want to enter to win next week's contest for the Ledger Nano S, all you have to do is make sure you are subscribed to the channel, tick that notification bell to get you notified when I post videos, smash the like button, and leave your comments. All those things really help the channel also. And let's get into it. We are at 47 on the Fear and Greed Index. We raised 2 points from yesterday. We went from the fear zone to the neutral zone. Just gonna make this really quick, guys. If you want details on the macro, go back to my prior videos, but macro in the monthly, lower highs period. Let's look at higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the RSI. That is bearish divergence. We've talked about if the monthly was to close above the 11,000, then we would be bullish. Other than that, I remain bearish. And the weekly, as of right now, we're still getting rejected on our trend line here at that $11,000 range. And our RSI, as you guys know, I'm waiting for a retest down here for the bottom. In my opinion, we'll see what happens. That's why I do keep you updated daily. If anything changes, I'll let you know. Now let's take a look at this chart here. Looking at the white lines, looking at this as a rising broadening wedge. To get the measured move of that, you take the point of where it broke down all the way up to the top of the wedge, bring it down. That gives us a target around $3,000 to $4,000 range. Keep in mind there is a CME gap that you can see in the 8 hour all the way down to 3570. Let's take a look at the pink trend lines here. Look at this as a rising broadening wedge. If we do break below this 99.66, the target of that is around 6,500. Most likely, guys, you know, people think it has to go straight down when you make these targets. There's going to be a lot of chop, a lot of up and down in, you know, in the process. So don't get all hung up in the smaller time frames. That, especially if you're trading, if you know what you're doing and trading small time frames, it's not quite as bad. But if you don't know what you're doing, emotions will get you killed. So be careful. Stick with the higher time frames if you're new to trading. But anyways, yeah, these are the targets I'm looking at now. Obviously, the bullish case is we bounce all the way up to retest this trend line here at 12,100, although I think that's a lot less likely. But we're going to be taking a look at all the options here. And like I said, the 1 hour has some pretty new targets that I'm looking at. I did show you one yesterday. There's a new one on there, so make sure you stick around. And if you are interested in trading, definitely check out Prime XBT. It's my favorite exchange by far. You don't have to worry about the scam wicks. They're not trading against you like other exchanges. I will leave a tutorial up top. Definitely check it out. You can trade Bitcoin, EOS, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, Forex, S&P, Dow, oil, gold, silver, all on margin. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. Savy50 as a promo code will get you 50% on top of whatever you deposit up to 1 Bitcoin. And Savy25 will get you 25% off your fees. Currently, I'm still in my shorts. I am negative 34 on this one here. I had put 1,000 to start this account. I'm up to 0.12 Bitcoin. And I am in 3 shorts right now, 1 in the negative. But I do think this is going to end up playing out. And like I said, we'll look at the targets here in a minute. Looking at the DXY, I do expect the DXY to run up here. Looking at this as a falling, broadening wedge. And we knew that once we broke this resistance right here, that Bitcoin was going to go down. That's when we had our last down move. So I look up for this area between the 95 and 96 to start looking for a bottom. I do believe as this cranks up, possibly next week, Bitcoin will be falling, if not before. All right, let's take a look. There's a new thing I want to point out on this. First of all, let me get this out of the way for a minute. This is pretty interesting. As you guys know, I do think we're going to see something like this again, just a bigger version. This does look like a fractal to me. It seems to be playing out wonderfully. And let's zoom in over here and see what happened, just to give you an idea how this works before we look at the RSI with it. But if you look here, we had a rising wedge. And if we take a measured move, measuring this as a bear flag, and take it down here, you can see where it got to. We did get a bounce where the measured move was, and then we continued down. I know people are saying, well, you can't count that because last time it was the big breakout. But I do believe, show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. Look that up if you haven't already, Google it. But I do believe this is showing signs that we may see something like that again. If not, we still have down targets in my opinion, but we will take a look at those. But as of right now, let's look at where we're at. If we do the same thing over here, although this is more of a rising broadening wedge, still looks like a bear flag in my opinion. And the measured move of that is about 8,500, right in that range. Now, if we measure just the wedge, depending on where we break down, obviously, but let's just take a measured move of that. It could be around that $9,000 range. But let's take a look at this target down here at 8,500. If we looked at this as a A, B, C correction, and how we would get the measurement of that is taking the Fibonacci extension, going from the swing high down to the swing low, and back up to this swing high here. And that would be, I'll put this in there for you real quick so you can see what I'm showing you. This would be A, B, C, D. And that's the 1-to-1 extension. Also lines up with the measured move of 8,500. So that's looking more and more likely to me. But we will look at the Fibonacci retracements and look at my other targets. As you guys know, 92 is a point of interest for me. Let's look at the RSI just to show you. As you can see right here, when we did make this move over here, we got a reset of the RSI before continuing down. We almost came down to the oversold here before getting the RSI reset and come back down. We've done pretty much the exact same thing here. Almost hit the oversold, reset the RSI. Now I do believe we're coming down, and it should look something like this if it plays out the way I'm expecting. If you guys want to help support the channel, this is my wife's webpage, anchorimage.com. There's a link down below with a bunch of other affiliate links that give you discounts and whatnot. But check it out. She makes a lot of cool crypto stuff on here. It's quality, not garbage, iron on, none of that stuff. Definitely check it out. She can put family pictures, other projects, whatever you want on any of this stuff. Hit her up in the contact. She'll help you out. And let's look at the 4-hour. And this will also be looking at our Fibonacci retracements. From the swing low to the swing high, you can see the Fibonacci retracements in here. As of right now, we did get back above the 0.236 at 10,445. A drop below that, and getting resistance there would bring us down to the 0.382, which is at 9,200. That's why I've been watching that so closely. And then if that was to break, we're looking at the 0.5 fib at 8165. And after that one, we have the 6850 to 7150, which is the golden pocket zone. I would expect at least a bounce here, maybe back up to the 82 range before continuing down if that does break. But let's take a measured move of this rising wedge that you can see in white. Where we broke down over here gets us down to about the $6,000 area. So those targets between 6,000 and 65 look pretty promising in my opinion, if we do break through this golden retracement zone. Now, if it gets even worse than that and that 6,000 doesn't hold, then we'd be looking at the 5675, which is the 0.786. If that breaks, we could be going down to close that CME gap. Not saying it has to happen, guys, but be aware it's down there. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at here. Let's look at The hourly. Now, this is what I was talking about. This is where it gets really interesting. First, we'll zoom out. We'll take a look at what's going on here. We had this rising channel here with the measured move of that being 9,700. Of course, you guys all know there is a CME gap down there. I've talked about it before. I'll mention it one more time. I do believe there's going to be a lot of people long in here, and we will most likely get a long squeeze. That's my opinion. That will push it down a lot further and liquidate everyone that longs in that position. Be careful when we get down there. Also, what I want to point out here is we are getting somewhat of a bullish divergence here in the 1 hour, so we may get another little bounce up. Be aware of that. Well, let's take a look at our measured moves here. Obviously, we have major resistance up in this area, and yesterday, as you guys know, we were looking at, if you look at the solid white trend line here, we were looking at for the breakdown of here, which we got, came back up, didn't quite test it up here. We did get a little retest here, but the measured move of that is 10,180, measuring it from the widest point here to where we broke down. Now, we had this white dotted trend line in here. Let's take a look at that. As you can see, the EMAs are turning bearish here. It's looking pretty ugly. On the 1 hour, we're getting rejected at the 200. We could get back up, retest this, the 8 EMA, which is in the red here, around 10,700. If we're able to get above that, we may retest this around 10,800 or so, but I wouldn't think that we're going to break that. And let's take a look at using this top line as resistance and this white dotted line as support. If we take a measured move from the widest point of that triangle to where we broke down, 10,430, that would be my first point. Like I said, we could go back up to 10.8 first, but I do believe we're going to be coming down to this area. Best case scenario, you know, we could get this pump up here. We had a measured move if we broke up here up to this 11,169. That's still a possibility, but a lot less likely now that we've broken down from there. So keep your eye on that, guys. I know everybody's extremely bullish. Just be careful. I am not. I am still bearish here. Let's take a look at Litecoin. Looking at Litecoin, again, the 200 EMA is up here around the $50 range, which would also retest the bottom of this channel. A break of that, then I would get bullish. And a break of the 11,100, I would get bullish. And this is Bitcoin. I would get bullish on that up to about 11.7, 11.8. So be aware. And anyway, if we break the $50 range, we get back in this channel. We could be going to look at the 55, but again, guys, I'm bearish. I don't believe that's going to happen, but be aware, you know, of these areas. 60 would be the absolute highest. I see this going somewhere in the $60 range to come up and retest this rising channel. Take a measured move of where we broke down from there. Still looking for the target of about $38. And then if we look at this as a bear flag, looking at this as a flagpole, bear flag, which we broke down from here, would be looking around the 31.42 range. Ethereum, same thing. We've been looking at the measured move of this rising broadening wedge is all the way down here to the 246. I'm still looking for that target. 200 EMA lies around 367. If we get a pump up there, I would expect a rejection. If not, the highest I see us going is 400 to retest this rising wedge. Anything above that, I get bullish again. But other than that, I am still bearish here. Big time. Look at this as a bear flag, just like we looked at in Litecoin, to where we broke down over here gets us around 200. So my first target here would be around 246 and then 200. And again, guys, that doesn't mean these happen today. These are my targets for midterm. All right, let's pick our winner of the Ledger Nano S. If you did not enter last week, all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and leave your comment down below. That will get you to enter to win next week. Video number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Warning Bitcoin bulls. I've been trying to warn them bulls for quite a while now. Let's copy link address, move it over to here, pick a random comment, and let's see what we got. Oh yeah, you also have a chance to win the Prime XBT $100 account. I will do that after this, but the winner is Edward I don't know how to say that last name, Macialis. Sorry if I murdered your last name, but you have won the Ledger Nano S. Now let's do another comment for the $100 Prime XBT winner. All you have to do is get a hold of me in my email. If you belong to the Discord, get a hold of me there. And you have 24 hours to get a hold of me. Yusuf M. Hardy, you won the $100. And I know you because you comment all the time. I appreciate all your support. But get a hold of me, man. You won the $100 Prime account. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking the CryptoSavy logo above my head. Smash a like, leave your comments. I'm out.